Now, one of the new features inside of Illustrator CS5 is its ability to be able to design graphics in one spot and have those graphics be used in other applications like Flash Catalyst. I'm going to click on File, New, and let's just say that makes something 800 by 400. I'm going to click OK, and then inside of here, I'll make some very simple animations. So I'm just going to say RC Concepcion, and I'll go ahead and I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'll bring this in here, and maybe what I'll do is I'll give this thing a Portaggio font. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to alt drag a series of buttons. So I'm going to say About RC, and I'm just going to select all and just do a Command Shift less than to be able to make that size. So now I have this in here in this one section, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to alt drag, move to the next one, and I'll call this one Portfolio. Then alt drag to the next one, and I'll come in here. I'll call that Contact Me. Now, right from this one section, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line somewhat across. And I'm not going to win any design awards in doing what I'm doing here, but I do just kind of want to show you some stuff, right? So if I bring this slightly down, and actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and just zoom in here. I'll zoom in and I'll bring this ever so slightly down. And then we're just going to duplicate. And I'll just keep doing this. And I'll keep doing this, and I'll keep doing this. I'm just going to zoom out and see how far I've gone so far. And yeah, I'm going to keep going. Then once I have that set, I'll go ahead and just kind of zoom out here real quick and see what we got. I'll make this thing a tad bit bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a line going straight down. And I'll bring this, let's say, to the top of this, to the bottom of this. And I'm going to grab that line, and from a stroke standpoint, I'll make it a little thicker. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take both of these things together. Maybe I'll zoom in here. Grab this guy, bring it in here. And now I'm going to take one more box. Looks like so. And I'll go ahead and I'll grab that box, make a copy. I'm going to paste in front by doing a Command Control F. Zoom that in a little bit there. And I'll go ahead and I'll select a gray fill for this. And I'm done. Now, I'm going to grab these two elements and I'm going to group them. I'm going to grab these two elements and I'm going to group them. So what have I made? Look. It's a slider. Not bad. Now, watch this. Very, very simple stuff. So I have 3 pieces of text and I have this graphic that I just made inside of Illustrator. I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to save this on the desktop, and I'm going to call this groups. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, so that you guys can use this, I'll go ahead and I'll save this in your download folder. I'm just going to highlight all of these guys, and I'm going to create outlines. In the event that you don't have the graphic, you should at least now still be able to open this. So now I'll go ahead and I'll save this in the downloads for you guys, and I'll just call this demo. We'll save that out. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into Photoshop. I'm going to go into one of my new sections in here, Flash Catalyst. Now you'll see inside of Flash Catalyst, you have new from Adobe Illustrator AI file. If you click on that, you can go ahead and select the AI file that you want to be able to use. In this case, demo. I'm going to open that one up, and you'll see that all of those graphics translate very, very well into the Flash Catalyst environment. So they do a really, really good job. Notice I can keep my color space, filters can stay editable, automatic conversions for text, gradients, or blends. I'm going to click OK. This is going to analyze the file, it's going to import all of those assets, and right off the bat, I can start working on a whole bunch of different projects right in this new environment. So take a look. I'm going to zoom out right here. All of my text still available for me to be able to use. And from right here, I can go ahead and I can just grab this. I can turn this into, well, I don't want to turn it into a checkbox. I actually just want to turn this into a button. So I'm going to highlight this, come over here, turn this into a button. Do the same thing on this one. Grab this, turn this into a button. Grab this one over here, turn this into a button. So moving from one to another is actually very, very easy. Let me show you something. I'm back at that Lorem website. I'm just going to go ahead and grab some text in here. And I'm going to copy. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to make a text box. And inside of here, I'm just going to go ahead and paste. Right? Now, I didn't want to paste twice, so I'm just going to go ahead and make absolutely sure that I just pasted once. I'm going to highlight all my text. And I'm going to click on this guy. Now, if this seems like all of a sudden it's going a little too fast, don't worry about it. At the Kelby training website, I have an entire class that deals with how to be able to do exactly what I'm doing right here inside of Flash Catalyst. So you can follow along with that very, very easily. Like right now, I have these two things selected, and I can turn around and I can turn this into a scroll panel. So automatically gets turned into a scroll panel. All I have to do is come in here and edit the parts. Right, so in here I got to turn around and, oh, actually, you know what? Before I do this, let me go ahead and just kind of step back here real quick, because I'm not really ready to turn this into a scroll panel. I have a text box here. I have this group. Remember that I made that group. So I got to turn around and grab these two things, the button and the track, and then turn that into a vertical scroll bar. Once I do that, then I can go ahead and edit these parts. I got to say, well, this part right here is the thumb, and then this part right here is the track. Once those two things are done, now I can come back and highlight these two and turn that into a scroll panel. And then the only thing that I have to select is this guy right here. I'm going to edit this part, and I want this part to be the scrolling content. It automatically attaches it to the width of that scroll panel that I did. Not bad. So I come back over here to the demo, I zoom out, and now check this out. Go over here, run project. It takes all of these assets, it pulls them out. I'm going to go ahead and just bring up my browser and see, scroll panel. So that's a great thing that Illustrator CS5 is able to do, to be able to leverage grabbing all of your assets and still bringing them into programs like Flash Catalyst to be able to do all of this cool interactivity with no code. Make sure you check out that Flash Catalyst video, because they do make it so easy for you to be able to do these kinds of things.